Raj, you're a power couple, so to say. Both of you are, of course, Shilpa being the superstar of Indian cinema, being who she is, and she's reinventing herself as a, yoga entrepreneur, dare I say. How is it life dealing with a, celebrity wife, being a celebrity yourself? Tell us in a real way, how does this dynamics matter? And what have you learned from Shilpa? I'm sure you learned a lot. We sometimes give less credit to our wives than we
Absolutely.
should. Yes. So I would like to know from you, what have you learned from her and how does this relationship work?
So honestly speaking, we do bring out the best in each other. But like you rightly said, firstly, she is the celebrity, not me. I have got the tag of default celebrity husband. And I think, people admire her. They love her. We go out. She's sort of mobbed. And especially when we're in Britain, she won the big show, Big Brother. So in the UK, she's one of the most popular Indians abroad. Um, there's a lot of pride. I'm very proud of what she's achieved. And I like to believe that we bring out the best in each other. She has a great instinct when it comes to sort of investing or working in something. So she will come to me for certain advice, and then she'll go with her instinct, even if I believe it's not the perfect thing. But if her instinct and her gut feeling tells her this is going to do wonders, she'll go out and do it. But I try and help her structure the deal, and then she goes and does her own deals. We don't get involved too much in each other's businesses. But yes, we use each other as bouncing boards and thinking boards. But she is a wonderful personality. What you see is what you get. There's no pretense. It's not this whole sort of diva outside and then at home she's someone else. She is a perfect mother. She sticks to what she believes in. For her, she will not endorse brands or products that she doesn't believe in. She's had many fizzy drink companies come to her, fast food chains come to her. She puts her foot down and says, no, for me, it's not the money, it's the product. She will give it to her nutritionist and say, does this product, will this help people? And if it doesn't help anyone, she will take it out and say, you know what, I'm not interested. So her managers get frustrated, but now they've learned that if I'm bringing a product to Shilpa, it's got to be something that she's true to and believes in. Only then will she promote it. So I think these are great values. And the same for me, that if I'm going to invest in something, if it's not going to add any value or if it's not going to be exciting, I will not do it. So I think we see that in each other day in, day out, that something has to really excite us to get us out of bed, to make us do something in life. And if we're not excited or kicked by it, money will not move us. We can make it and break it. We're both self-made. We've not had our father's inheritance. We've both worked hard, and that's what we love about each other, that we can get up and go anywhere and do anything anytime and know we can be successful.
And what's the shared passion?
The shared passion now
apart from your children?
I think currently the shared passion apart from our children is this little spiritual path we've taken. So before, Shilpa would sort of wake up in time to get the children or Viaan ready for school at 6. Today she started getting up at sort of 5:30, 5 to get her yoga, and it's something she'd never do before. So even in the holidays, she would wake up at 7:30. But now she's also started getting up early. Not as early as me. I like to do my 4:30 Brahma Muhurta time meditation. She enjoys getting up at 6 and spending an hour doing yoga in the morning. So I think this has been something that we sort of coexist and do together. And we love watching inspirational videos at night. The last thing we do before sleeping is put on various leaders of the world, various gurus of the world who speak. So like Gopal Das ji or Mukanananda. So whoever sort of has something to say, the Brahma Kumaris, we love listening to that. And it just makes us feel good and positivity. We don't like horror movies. We don't like negativity. For us, we want to keep our whole circle very positive. Our friends have to be positive. And we believe that, you have to do good, you'll get good. And we're very karma yogi believers more than sort of hardcore religion.
Okay. Raj, how do you separate your personal life from professional life? And do you want to separate your personal life from professional life? Because for an entrepreneur, sometimes there is a very thin line between what is professional and what is personal, right? But tell us if you like segregation between your personal life and your professional life, or, it both kind of flow into each other.
I think, Dr. Annurag, that's a wonderful question. And like you said, I know what you're trying to get at, because for entrepreneurs, it's very hard to separate, whilst we should. So when it's a startup and it's in that nascent first 2-3 years, you really put your whole and soul into it, and you need your family to support you. Children don't understand. So when they come to you and you're on the phone, it's like, daddy's always on the phone. I've had I've had scenes where Viaan a few years ago literally used to come up to me, see me on the phone, and he would sort of act like, it's like, Dad, pick up the phone and throw it away. And so when I see that happening, I know that, okay, maybe I'm stretching it too much. Whilst I've worked in the office, I've come home, I should not be taking so many calls. So slowly over time, you learn that, okay, you have to delegate. You have to give it to the team you've hired. Whilst you're really passionate about your startup, you have to understand you can't do everything yourself, and you need to balance. So it is important to detach, but I would say detach when it can be detached. If you're jabardasti working on something after 3 years of business and you're really sticking to it, when you know you can delegate, then you're just getting to sort of me, myself, and I kind of thing. You should definitely let others do things once it gets to a level where you can let that baby go. But initially, it's like a baby. It's like your own son and daughter. You have a startup, you have to nourish it, and you have to give it 24/7, unfortunately.
Raj, I have to ask you this. Now, you're an active sports person, right? You love sports. I know you had you had a super fight league in India,
Yeah,
which you then gave it to Bill to
yeah,
run. Yeah.
correct.
And tell us, which is your favorite sport and who's your favorite sports person? You can choose the game, sports.
Yeah. I mean, I love cricket. I think it's a wonderful sport. It is the gentleman's sports per se. And for me, I think as an individual and as a brand and what he's created for himself worldwide, I think Virat Kohli is a true inspiration to the youth of today, and he's loved by everyone. He really has been someone that I've admired to see. He was one of the youngest captains when he joined Bangalore Royals as a captain, and to see a 17, 18-year-old and the way he went up to sort of where he is today. There are a lot of kids that want to be like him, and he's vegetarian. He's a healthy, fit guy. Fitness matters to him. Successful. Also married a lovely celebrity wife, and I think he's got his head screwed on. He has today's youth is very sort of now or never, and they're very hot-headed. So whilst he remains hot-headed because the sport requires him to be that, but he's a
That's
wonderful
passion.
individual.
That's
Passion. That's the passion that comes out, and it happens in every walk of life. So I think for me, Virat Kohli would be the name that comes to mind, and someone that is a really wonderful character.
And when there is a India-England match, when the World Cup final was happening, who are you supporting?
So I always love teasing Shilpa with this one, and my son does the same. So unfortunately, by default, we were born and brought up in England, so we have these British passports to flash, and they're great for traveling. But honestly, I'm more Indian than any Indian Shilpa knows, and any Indian probably you will know. I love the culture. I love India. Many people have picked up their bags, seen things go wrong, and fly off to Britain. I would never leave India for the love of any money. This is home for me. And when a cricket team match happens, whilst we will tease Shilpa saying, "Come on, England, come on, England," in our heart we're saying, "India, you better win it." And we always support India. There's no two ways about it.
Raj, I want to change gears. And I want to ask you about an aspect of your life that is possibly important to you. Now, today, you're mostly active in your venture in gaming.
Yes.
Real estate as a sector also is where you dabbled, right? The reason I'm asking this question is, where do you see business and economy going over the next few weeks, months? Do you see the Indian economy kind of getting better over the next 6 months, or getting worse before it gets better? What is your outlook on the Indian economy?
Yeah. So I was never really a hands-on leader when it came to real estate. I invested in various companies that were building and doing various things. Per se, it's maybe something as per my stars astrology. It didn't suit me. It never worked for me. Anytime I bought a piece of land and wanted to construct on it, there were 100 problems that happened. And that's part and parcel of working in India. You're always going to have the red tapeism and the under the table dealings that have to happen. It doesn't suit me. It doesn't work with my persona. I don't believe in bribery, and I'll never give it. I will be right. I'll work right till the end. Something again I learned from Manoj Badale. He is one guy that whilst running Rajasthan Royals faced a lot of hurdles and problems, but he was very sure in one thing: he will not pay a single envelope or packet under the table. We will do it by the book and do it properly. So I think in India, and as a business person, it's very difficult to have these ideologies and succeed. So you succeed, but you succeed slower. And that is fortunate and unfortunate, I guess, for people. So it's horses for courses. Indian economy, we're living in a country that has 1 billion+ people. They're all consumers. They're all breathing. They have a stomach. They need something. And I think if one person's got that right on how to keep it Indian, is the Geo family. You know, the Ambani family know that, boss, we want everything. They have created this chakra view, and like it or not, there is going to be a Geo product in your house, be it the internet, be it the phone, be it a Geo digital or product. There's always going to be something Geo
And
in your life,
services and
yeah,
services delivery,
and services, everything. That's what
education,
I'm saying. So
music.
he's absolutely. So I think it's important, and he's recognized it, and that we should not. One, I think it's a great thing what the India government did, banning suddenly these Chinese apps. All the money was going out to China, unless it was staying in India and it was helping an Indian. And some apps did. With all due respect, I did see. I mean, I was big on TikTok, and then it sort of went off, and I realized that they were spending money on India. They did contribute towards COVID, but ultimately India has the skill set. It's not easy for an Indian app to go to China and launch and be successful there, but we have made it so easy for millions of apps to come into India and rinse us and make money. So I feel that yes, we should see more Indian startups in the digital space. We should create those apps. You have a nice window where suddenly there are replicas coming, but we have to get the replica right. What I've noticed is TikTok went down and suddenly there were 8 TikTok variants, but the user experience was not good. So if we get the product right, we have the technical know-how. I mean, America takes our brain and our skill set and uses our people abroad. Why are we not using the best of our people here to create wonderful products? So I admire Geo as a company. It's really homegrown. It's India's multinational. And I think that's what we've got to focus at. And I encourage more business people and more startups to really take this ecosystem, make the best out of it. And you have the consumers. You just got to know how to give them a product and solve a problem, which is more important than anything.
Raj, I want you to comment on one thing. Sometimes in the past, you've been on the side of receiving criticism from media or unfair reporting. How do you think the Indian media is doing overall? Is it doing well? Is it doing bad? It can do better? Tell us an honest view.
I'll have to watch what I say, because I know my wife needs it more than I need it, to be honest. But with all due respect, there are certain people that write with ethics, and there's a certain section that just does it to break news and scandals, and I like to call them prostitutes. They really need to watch what they say and what they do. They cannot just basically, use someone's name, and because unfortunately for Shilpa, it's like, okay, Shilpa Shetty's husband, Raj Kundra, got involved in this and got stuck. With all due respect, I've never had such a side being out there when I was in Britain. It never happened. Just because I'm Shilpa Shetty's husband, the smallest dot not signed in the right place becomes this big breaking scandalous news. And media loves to sort of throw this out there. It's sad, and I think people need to watch what they say. Everything gets dramatized, and it's wrong. And unfortunately, what happens, what people don't realize is that one media negative report on sources then goes on your world check. And when you go abroad or you try and open a bank account, world check is checking what the press has said. World check is not really diving into what the laws had said about you. So it's very difficult, and it's very easy for a media person to put any allegation against you without any evidence, and then you're stuck proving yourself innocent when it comes to opening bank accounts around the world. So I think we need to have some kind of governing bodies that or a grievance cell where you can report people that are going wrong. Media plays a nasty role in India when it comes to politicizing or putting people against people, and I really wish that would stop, but I don't see that stopping.
Okay, Raj, one important part of your personality is being spiritual. You yourself said right at the start that you believe in astrology, right? Tell us, what does being spiritual mean to Raj Kundra? You said you're Dharma yogis during the interview, you said, but beyond that, what does being spiritual mean to Raj Kundra?
Absolutely. So I just want to clarify, a lot of people sort of misunderstand spirituality and religion. I'm spiritual, but I'm not religious. If you ask me to sit in a puja and put milk on various deities and do that side of things, I don't do it. I don't believe in it. I respect all religions. And as a karma believer, like I said, my religion is humanity. Today is what we're seeing. And when people are coming together, it doesn't matter if you're Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, Isai, it doesn't matter. For me, spirituality is being pure from the inside, is helping, is encouraging. and leading by example with true integrity. It's very easy to do your part pujas and then rip somebody off in a business deal. It doesn't make sense. So anything you do requires really good ethics. And if you're good and you're pure, you will win those battles. And I love to quote the Mahabharata as an incident where you had someone with very negative thoughts like Duryodhan, and then you had Arjun on one side, and they both went to Krishna. And Krishna said, choose. One guy gets my army, one guy gets me as an advisor. I won't use my weapons. And Arjun, who's a righteous man, chose Krishna and knew that he'd won the war. Whereas Duryodhan chose Krishna's army and said, it's enough for me. I've got a battalion. I will win this war. But his thoughts were not pure. So the guy with pure thoughts went on to win the battle. So that for me is spirituality, having the right thoughts in the path that you undertake.
Okay, Raj, my last question to you. If you speak to Raj Kundra in 6 months, 1 year from now, what would have Raj Kundra achieved in his gaming venture and overall as an entrepreneur?
Yeah. So this one I'm ready for. Honestly speaking, I've never really taken debt, and that's been one sort of blessing in disguise over the last 45 years in my business. It's either been there's been investors that have believed in it, or I've just sort of funded it myself. For me, I believe that Viaan Gaming is my unicorn venture, and it will receive unicorn status in India, and it'll be an app that we create within Viaan Gaming that will go global in the next 6 months. And it'll be an app that people will be proud of. I've created a very interesting logo which represents India in itself. And when you see it in a couple of months' time, we launch in September. This live streaming app will really be one of the best apps ever developed in India, and it will be an app used by people worldwide.
Okay. Although I said last, but I want to ask you this. A lot of people in COVID times are hopeless. They have anxiety. They're dealing with uncertainty. What is your message to who need hope, who need help?
I asked my wife this as well. I say, what do you have to say? And she has this one line that sums up everything, that this too shall pass. We've seen these pandemics happen once every 100 years. It's here. We have to deal with it. It's a global problem. It's not a personal problem. Stick to the rules, adhere to the rules. This will pass. I know 100% we'll get through this. And a lot of people sort of are saying, oh, health is wealth. This is the time you understand that health is wealth. But with all due respect, health alone is not, health is not wealth. You need to have parked some wealth, some of your savings. Now you realize the importance of savings. When you have a horrible period like this, you should thank your lucky stars that maybe you don't have to think so much about work. You can sit at home and you can have a dal roti on your plate. You don't need much, but you need to have saved. You need to understand that wealth should have been parked aside to look after your health today when things like this happen. So whilst health is wealth, wealth is also health. You have to keep in mind you need your basic needs, and you need to have enough parked aside when things like this break out, that we can live comfortably a little bit with the basics.
Sorry, I'm Raj, asking you another add-on question. You dealt with people in UK, Europe, and you dealt with Indians. You live in India, you are Indian. What is the difference between entrepreneurs in UK versus entrepreneurs in India? Is there a basic difference in how we think and act?
Yeah.
Or is it about the environment?
I think what I've seen, fortunately, is overseas, the foreigners are not as over smart as we like to be in India. For them, if they tell you Monday, 9 o'clock, we'll meet and we'll close this, it gets closed Monday, 9 a.m. on the date promised. In India, when they say we'll do it on Monday, 9 o'clock, we don't know which Monday they're talking about, which week or which year. So I think we kind of overcommit and we say yes to everything. We'll nod our head and say, yes, this can be done, this can be done. And sometimes it goes in your favor where, you take it all on board and then you deal with the problem. So you take all the orders. Yes, I have a factory that can produce 1,000, but somebody's giving me order 5,000. I'll take the order. I'll manage it somehow. It might compromise my quality, but I'll manage. Whereas a foreigner, if he has a factory of 1,000, he'll only take an order for 1,000, and then he'll do that to the best of his ability. So I think we kind of like to take it when we can and grab every opportunity. We need to realize that let's stick to what we have and deliver that properly, then try and do 10 things and get it all wrong.
Okay, Raj, I hope what you're saying is that Indians need to undercommit and over-deliver.
Yes.
And they need to be very respectful of the time that they commit
Yes.
in terms
Absolutely.
of delivery or a deadline. That is a key thing that separates an Indian
100%.
entrepreneur from an entrepreneur in UK. We wish you luck with your gaming
Thank you.
venture. We look forward to
Thank you
it.
so much.
And hopefully
Thank you.
in post-COVID times, we're able to have a cup of coffee together.
100%.
Almond milk cappuccino, vegan. And, so
Lovely.
all the best, Raj.
Thank you.
Pleasure speaking to you. And
Thank you. It's been a great pleasure.
Soon again on your gaming venture.
Thank you so much. A pleasure talking to you. All the best.